I just think the way that Jason and Steven and, Jerry have built this team over the last 3 or 4 years, it's been from the inside out, and you're seeing the benefits of that. And we're still going. This wasn't a 1 year, 2 year thing. We're building this for the next 5, 6, 7 years to sustain. And I think anytime you get an opportunity to get a guy like Collins, you should take advantage of that. And it just goes to show the ability, of our owner to, when he sees someone like that, he sees a little bit, in some ways, of himself in someone like Collins, and I think they can relate. And as different as that may sound, it was the way he talked and communicated to him and his mom. It was just, it was a great thing to see.
Can you talk about that dinner, that recruitment dinner, and what were your impressions of him? Certainly he was impressed by you.
Yeah, I mean, he's a special kid. I think what you find right away is just there are different paths to get to where you want to go, and his is not ideal, nor was mine. Now, his is different than mine. I don't pretend to know, but I do know what it's like not to get drafted when you think you have an opportunity to. And I couldn't imagine if you were a first-round guy who had to go through that weekend, especially on things that were just, I mean, it's a classic thing of this world is different than it was 20 years ago. This doesn't happen 20 years ago simply because of the internet, social media, and what can happen and the way it can be perceived. And I feel bad. That's the one area you have to watch in life, is just the attacks. We always, in the court system, it's innocent until proven guilty, but in the social world, it's really guilty until you've shown everybody that you're innocent. And he's a classic example of that. And I feel, you hurt for guys like this that take a big hit. At the same time, some of the stuff I told him was he had an opportunity on his own to have a silver lining at the end of that. And that just comes from your ability to pick where you want to go. And very few people are afforded that. I feel lucky and blessed now. If you're going to be a player, if you're going to have a chance to become a really good player for a team in the National Football League, there's benefits to picking your team. We all want to go in the first round. When that doesn't happen, you can look at it any way you want, but this will end up being a very good thing for him. And I think he's the type of kid who's going to work hard and commit and give, everything he's got. And I think this will motivate him even more than it would. But if he can go on and be the player he thinks he can be, this is a moot point, and it won't matter where you're drafted.
Do you need a running back now?
I think what you find is we have a bunch of guys competing right now. I think they all understand where they're at. There's going to be competition all over the place in this football team. And the more times you can create that, and the more people that have to compete, you're going to find it's going to bring out the best in a lot of guys. And I'm excited to find out, which guy steps up, and really what multiple guys are going to step up at our running back position.
And you ended the National League Run thing, predicting the Super Bowl. You're not backing down?
Did you go watch that? I mean, did anybody else see that? I gave a speech, and then the end was, let's go, everyone get excited.
You were firing people up is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was a great event. I think people were excited, and I've said plenty of things before.
Does this line extend your career? Can you see yourself playing longer because of a line like this and what you have in front of you?
I would tell you that when you have a good offensive line like we do, the thought definitely entertains your mind to ensure and do everything humanly possible to play longer than maybe what you had envisioned. And so we'll reassess that in a few years, but I do think that my wife would tell you I'm talking a little more long-term than I maybe had been. And so we'll see.
First full off season, you get to do everything, no surgery issues, no rehab issues. How does that feel, and how do you feel?
Well, weirdly, I'm the only guy on the team who's getting younger each day in there, it feels like. So the last 2 years have obviously been a struggle in the offseason and wasn't ideal, but I think it's been a very rewarding feeling to be able to do some of the stuff I've been able to do up to this point since February, and I'm just excited about that continuing. And obviously I got to keep stacking days together, and we'll see where that ends up, but I'm excited about the path that this offseason has taken.
Can you talk about this event right quick, just what it means, what it means?
You sure you want to talk about the event at all?
The cameras want to see it. The people want to see it.
So, we're lucky to be here. I know Pat and Emmitt, and they're two very special people. And Pat had reached out to my wife Candace, and Candace literally comes over and asked me about it. It was a no-brainer to come and support them. You know, they're fantastic people. They give back. They're very genuine. Anybody who's around them for any amount of time understands that there's something to aspire to be, and I think we're all trying to be that.
Thank you. Play golf tomorrow?
I will not be a part of the golf festivities.
Thank you, man.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
It's Mother's Day weekend. Anything you want to share about your mom? Or, or shout out maybe?
Yeah, I think there's actually 3 special mothers that I know. One is to my left. I got 2 kids, and I'm very lucky to have the best wife in the world, but she's the best mother I've ever seen, and I feel blessed. And so this is one of those rare ones where I'm not going to forget the president or the cards and the presents, because for me, I know how special she is, so it's easy for me to remember this. And then my mom. I mean, my mom is the most selfless person I've ever been around, so I can't say enough. I could go on for an hour about my mom. I'm just lucky that she's here. She supports me. She's the best mother-in-law, which is not always the case sometimes. My wife loves her, and it's a blessing. And then my mother-in-law, you know, I feel like I have 3 mothers, because Candace gets on me sometimes. But it's been fantastic. It's going to be a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.